Hello and welcome to your 24/7 radio station, Global News Radio. This is AI Global News, the first fully automated 24/7 AI news radio station. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. Thanks for being here. We are starting with the latest headlines and a few quick curiosities. Americanswers. On 5 Live. Donald Trump versus Pope Leo on Iran. Here is a little more context. The US president insults the Pope and depicts himself as Jesus. Quantum computing, a tech race Europe could win? In more detail, with some promising computing companies in the field, could Europe be a leader in quantum tech? Middle East war will slow global economic growth, IMF warns. Here is a little more context. The conflict could also fuel another bout of inflation, according to the International Monetary Fund. IBM settles its DEI lawsuit with the DOJ for $17 million. In more detail, IBM denied any wrongdoing and said the settlement wasn't an admission of liability, while the US government said this conclusion wasn't a concession that its claims weren't well-founded, according to the settlement agreement. According to the DOJ, IBM had violated the Civil Rights Act of 1964 with practices that included altering interview criteria based on race or sex, developing race and sex demographic goals for business units, using a diversity modifier that tied bonus compensation to achieving demographic targets and more. An IBM spokesperson told Engadget in an email that the company is pleased to have resolved this matter, adding that our workforce strategy is driven by a single principle: having the right people with the right skills that our clients depend on. According to Todd Blanche, the agency's acting attorney general, this action is one of the first resolutions to come out of the Civil Rights Fraud Initiative, which was launched in May 2025. What happened after Denmark adopted a ruined city in Ukraine? According to the report, the Danish government has contributed more than $250 million to Mykolaiv, as the Trump administration pushes a more business-focused plan. Deep-fried food banned in new plans for school dinners. In the latest development, schools are being told to cut down on sugary desserts and provide more vegetables and whole grains. You can attend Pokemon EDM shows in Los Angeles and London. Here is the detail behind it. In addition to holding EDM concerts, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company re-released the Game Boy Advance remakes of Pokemon Red and Blue on Nintendo Switch Online for the franchise's 30th anniversary. They also released a Game Boy-shaped portable Pokemon jukebox, little music players that can be loaded with a different melody or sound effect from the original game's soundtracks. Can we afford to keep the UK safe? Here is a little more context. Former NATO chief warns UK's national security in peril. When El Salvador's prisoners are set free, she's there to pick them up. According to the report, Shuggy Amaya's brother was detained in El Salvador's mass arrest campaign 4 years ago. She has devoted her life to helping prisoners like him. Why the benefit used by more than 8 million people may not be fit for the future. Here is what is being reported. Can universal credit and the work and benefits system more generally reshape itself to meet a new reality? South Korea can't build enough stadiums to host its K-pop stars. Here is a little more context. South Korea doesn't have enough arenas to show off its own A-list talent. That's why BTS began its world tour in a once-neglected, 22-year-old soccer stadium. American streamer Johnny Somali is sentenced to prison in South Korea. Here is a little more context. Known for desecrating a monument to victims of sexual slavery, the former YouTuber was convicted on multiple charges and given a 6-month sentence. Irish PM dodges potential St. Patrick's Day bruises at Trump meeting. Here is what is being reported. BBC News NI political editor Enda McLafferty looks at how Michael Martin fared against Donald Trump during their St. Patrick's Day meeting. Wales Green Party manifesto explained in a minute. The report says that political editor Gareth Lewis breaks down promises to freeze rent caps, build 60,000 social homes and improve childcare in 60 seconds. NASA chose the right crew to launch a new era of human space exploration. The report adds that it's a special thing to be human, and it's a special thing to be on planet Earth. The new Tomodachi Life is made to be shared, even if Nintendo doesn't want you to. The report adds that Tomodachi Life, living the dream, is hard to explain. The best way to understand is to see it in action. A screenshot of handsome Squidward and Bob Belcher falling in love over their shared appreciation of cannibalism makes it clear that, while it's a life sim, the game is really a joke-generating machine. Living the Hungary may no longer be Putin's ally, but it can't afford a full break. According to the report, Prime Minister Viktor Orban's defeat will make it harder for the Kremlin to divide Europe, but Moscow retains leverage through energy sales. Number of asylum hotels falls to 185 after 11 close. The report says that the government says the fall is partly due to housing people in alternative sites such as military barracks. New women's health plan launched to tackle culture of sexism in the NHS. Here is a little more context. New plans to improve healthcare for women and girls have been set out, but will they change anything? French government says au revoir Windows, bienvenue Linux. In more detail, in August, he vowed to stand up to countries that attack our incredible American tech companies. The strange capitalizations are his, not ours. His administration has described laws like the EU's Digital Services Act as censorship and attacks. So far, Europe has stood firm. We, as a European community, just need to make sure that nobody can blackmail us. He added that if the US turned off access to search results tomorrow, we would have to go back to phone books. Granted, the guy is selling a European-made search engine, so his bias is clear. In order to build more resilience for Europe, there is a geopolitical case for European innovations to emerge. Health, education, tax and more. Has the SNP delivered on its promises at Holyrood? In the latest development, as parties draw up their election manifestos, has the SNP ticked off the goals it set out in 2021? Synchronizing exercise with your internal body clock could improve health. According to the report, time your workout to your body clock, health researchers advise based on latest evidence. Your push notifications aren't safe from the FBI.